And now I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here. And he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well, too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of a law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across the American Union. To be here and to introduce my friend, Congressman Boyle Bile.
Well, thank you. I'm Congressman Brendan Boyle.
The President's a live feed.
Absolutely. So, Mr. President, we put up a live feed here.
Over here.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Be able to see exactly
Actually, the
what's
live
happening.
feed's over here. That's from a few days ago.
And Senator Fetterman, you're next. Senator Fetterman, you are recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. We had earlier today some comments about the tragic accident on I-95, and if you want to make any comments with respect to that, feel free. You're recognized.
No, I would just really like to, the 95, obviously that, you're pretty much preoccupied with 95, and I know I certainly am too, and we know it's a major artery, not just for Pennsylvania, but for the East Coast. And a lot of Pennsylvanians are worried that the delays in repairs bring to its standstill. I'm glad to see last night you were so quick to get $3 million to the emergency relief. The funds got out so quickly. Just personally, it just seemed $3 million wasn't enough. I mean, it seems like it's going to be even a lot more expensive than that. But I get the sense, President Biden, I was standing next to a collapsed bridge in western Pennsylvania, and things moved down really quickly and got it down. And I'm confident that the same is going to happen, in East Pennsylvania as well. But right now you have an incredible asset in SEPTA, and it's the regional rail and subway lines that I think could be a game changer if SEPTA still needs support to expand temporary capacity to ease congestion on the roads. And my question to you, Administrator, could you emergency relief on other funds at your agency could help SEPTA's temporary operating costs to make transit a viable alternative for local travel? And will you commit to working with Secretary to get the SEPTA support in the next few weeks?
Thank you, Senator, and I know how important this project is, and Chairman Carper had reached out to me on Sunday, and I know had connected us. I know you're very engaged on this. With specifically to the $3 million on the quick release, all of the costs of this will be borne through the emergency relief program. The $3 million is sort of a down payment. It's about a 10% estimate of what they think they're going to need. If that number goes up, we'll provide more funding. Yeah. But that was the reason for the $3 million. Specifically on SEPTA, I was with Leslie Richards, who's the general manager of SEPTA yesterday. Secretary Buttigieg was briefed on that. And again, back to this concept of following the law, Federal Highway ER funds specifically relate to added capacity on SEPTA, and we are working to stand that up. Secretary Buttigieg has also asked us to look with FTA what provisions they may have, but SEPTA is a critical link here for that corridor.
Yeah. Right. While I'm here, I also want to talk about the federal government's dragging its feet in implementing expert advice and making streets safer as well. And so I reached out twice to express my concerns about the actions of your agency should be making streets safe, and frustration delays have been witnessing with some key guidelines. When can we expect that these actions will be finalized and will commit to working with my office to address the concerns that I've raised?
Thank you, Senator. I think Secretary Buttigieg is very clear that safety is our #1 priority, and as part of the National Roadway Safety Strategy, safe streets, safe design, safer speeds. These are all things that we talk about incessantly within federal highways. So happy to follow up with your staff around any concerns you may have raised so that we can more quickly deploy safety.
Thank you. And we'll now turn to Senator Fetterman. And again, welcome to the committee.
Hi, and once again, and thank you so very much for the opportunity to be a member of this committee. And
Absolutely.
This is actually my very first meeting. So I'm just really honored to be being an advocate for Pennsylvania's, very, very critical kinds of agricultural industry. So it's going to start out with a very broad kind of question, given, this being just starting in on this. So Ms. Taylor, agriculture is Pennsylvania's single biggest, industry. And we have over 60,000 farms, and 97% are farm-owned. What changes are you needed to the department's trade programs to make them stronger?
So, Senator, I think I appreciate those numbers. I think that's really important to underscore that the majority of our farms in your state and across the country are family-owned and operated. That was the case. I grew up on my family's farm in Iowa that has been in my family for 160 years. I think as I think about the trade programs that we have, we are focused on ensuring that small and mid-sized producers and businesses can also access those programs, that they are able to be navigated, that they can identify diverse market opportunities outside the country that might be of interest to them, and certainly welcome any additional engagement from you on how we can make sure our family farmers are able to tap into our market development programs to connect to the markets and the buyers in those markets and ultimately the consumers who have a desire for our products.
Thank you. And Ms. Moffitt. Pennsylvania has an incredibly strong organic farming industry. In fact, I believe it's the second largest in the nation, actually. But it faces a lot of challenges, as we all know. What changes to the USDA made recently to strengthen the organic label, and what additional tools are needed, do you think?
Senator Fetterman, thank you for that question and for your interest in organic production. So 2 weeks ago, USDA AMS announced the largest change to the national organic standards since the inception of the National Organic Program with the strengthening organic enforcement. Strengthening organic enforcement as it will be implemented, and we're already working with producers as well as certifiers on implementation of that rule. Will close some of the loopholes and add new players that have now been part of the organic industry that weren't part of the organic industry in the inception, to make sure that we have a level playing field for all producers. At the same time, we're also growing the organic producer base through a transition to organic partnership program. So this is field-based technical assistance driven by producers and organizations in Pennsylvania to mentor new and aspiring organic farmers to be able to attain certification as well. So rulemaking is very important, and also the support that we need and the mentorship network that we need to grow and enhance and increase organic production is another part of what we're working on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, well, actually, Madam Chair, I would just really like to, the 95. Obviously that, you're pretty much preoccupied with 95. and I know I certainly am too, and we know it's a major artery, not just for Pennsylvania, but for the East Coast. And a lot of Pennsylvanians are worried that the delays in repairs bring to its standstill.